This is the way it was when the Bahamian people learned the facts about independence. The government's massive exercise in education and information succeeded in taking the story of independence to all the islands in 1972, and the people responded with enthusiasm. Whether in large auditoriums in New Providence and Grand Bahama, or in the smaller meeting halls of the Family Islands, Bahamian audiences agreed that the timing was right for full independence from Great Britain in 1973. As 1973 began, there were more than 6 months to prepare for the great day in July. And then, suddenly, it was June, in the perpetual Isles of June, and the pace of preparations quickened. An entire week was set aside for the independence celebrations, but in most people's minds, the official beginning was the day that the royal visitor arrived. The Prince of Wales, representing his mother, the Queen, sailed into Nassau Harbor aboard HMS Minerva, the Royal Navy frigate on which he serves as Assistant Gunnery Officer. But as he strode down the gangplank, he was every inch a royal personage. He was greeted by then-Governor Sir John Paul and Lady Paul, Prime Minister and Mrs. Penling, and the Provost Marshal.
On this occasion, Your Royal Highness comes as the royal visitor to perform a most historic role at our independence celebrations. We note with utmost pleasure and satisfaction the fact that our royal visitor is the heir to the British throne and the head of the Commonwealth in the future. We feel that this lends unique authenticity to what we expect to be a splendid and memorable occasion. Your Royal Highness, on behalf of the government and the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and with personal greetings from my wife and myself, you are most welcome.
From Rosen Square, the royal party drove to Government House, where the Prince of Wales made the first of many changes of wearing apparel, and then motored to the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center, where Bahamian athletes demonstrated their prowess in track and field events. For the first time in its history, the out-island regatta was transferred from its usual picturesque setting in Georgetown, Exuma, to Montague Bay, so visitors to the independence celebrations could see at first hand the keen competition waged by the fishermen, sailors who manned the Bahamian sloops. His Royal Highness, aboard a yacht, was able to obtain a close view of the precision maneuvering executed by the out-island crews. In a more formal setting, the Prince of Wales received the distinguished delegates from 52 foreign countries who came to the Bahamas as guests from all parts of the world. The ballroom at Government House was the same as the visitors paid their respects to the heir to the British throne. An ecumenical service at Clifford Park offered two noted readers of the lesson, the Prince of Wales and Prime Minister Pinley. A large international press corps converged on Nassau during Independence Week, including a news conference with the Prime Minister.
But the overall objective still is to advance Bahamians to the very top spots in this country.
Many friends of the Bahamas thronged to Nassau for the celebrations, and some of them presented gifts to mark the occasion of independence. At the entrance to the Botanic Gardens, an obelisk was dedicated by one of the major international airlines serving the Bahamas. Even though he'd appreciated his cornerstone laying ability, the Prince of Wales proved to be adept and workmanlike at a ceremony at the construction site of the new central bank.
Believe it or not, this is only the second cornerstone I have ever laid. I am not, as you will shortly no doubt see for yourselves, well versed in the art of laying these things properly. So when the building is eventually complete, you may find your currency is literally a floating one.
It was the big night. Clifford Park hummed with excitement as VIP guests arrived. A great cheer greeted the Prime Minister and Mrs. Pinley. The special pavilion slowly filled as diplomats and distinguished delegates took their places. The grandstands and the hillsides had been packed for hours with half of New Providence. 50,000 people waiting for the magic moment of midnight. The royal standard fluttered aloft as the Prince of Wales arrived. Then all eyes were front and center for the brilliant entertainment that followed. No one counted the hours, days and weeks of rehearsal put in by the large cast of the folklore show, but all agreed that every minute had been worthwhile. For a technically flawless and creatively superb dramatization of Bahamian history was displayed on the field and the broad stage. Actors, singers and dancers, script, music and lighting all contributed to a memorable performance. Representatives of all faiths prayed at the flagpole. Then hearts beat faster as special detachments from HMS Minerva and the Royal Bahamas Police Force went swinging by. The music of the police band set a smart marching tempo. The climatic moments are at hand, and the governor and the prime minister take the short but dramatic walk from the pavilion to positions on either side of the flagpole. Then, as the strains of God Save the Queen are heard for the last time officially in the Bahamas, the Union Jack is slowly lowered by two sergeants from the police training school. It is just seconds until midnight, and the gold, black, and aquamarine colors of the new nation's flag are ascending the staff. The musicians in the band have their instruments poised, and from 50,000 throats come the stirring words of the new national anthem, March on, Bahama Land. At mid-morning the following day, the scene again is Clifford Park, where Prince Charles turns over to Mr. Pinley the constitutional instruments, denoting the new sovereign status of the Bahamas.
Which will function smoothly and efficiently in a self-regulating, peaceful evolution and quiet revolution. The great challenge of the future now lies before us, almost marred by the challenge of the immediate.
Being a youthful nation, the Bahamas showed off its young people at every opportunity during Independence Week. Largest of the youth rallies was held at Clifford Park, where the Prince of Wales watched parading groups and listened to speakers and marching bands. He also presented an award to the composer of the national anthem, Timothy Gibson, who, while not young in years, has the youthful spirit exemplified by the stirring words of March On, Bahama Land. More than 2,000 persons came to the beautiful, newly completed Botanic Gardens to meet Mr. and Mrs. Pinley at the Prime Minister's Independence reception. Then it was almost over. And it was time for His Royal Highness to return to his everyday job aboard HMS Minerva. Before he stepped onto a police launch at Prince George Wharf, however, Prince Charles said some final goodbyes to cabinet ministers, diplomats, and government officials. The celebrations were finally over in Nassau, but they were just beginning in the Family Islands. From Bahama to Inagua, from Bimini to San Salvador, the people rejoiced. Prime Minister Pinling and his colleagues joined in the out-island festivities as the curtain came down on the biggest story of 1973, independence for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.